What's up, everybody? GM. How we doing? Happy Monday. What's the word? What's the word? What's the mother fucking word? How we doing, everybody? What's up? How was your weekend? How was your week 17? You know, maybe you didn't have a best ball sweat. Maybe you had a home league. How did home league go? Did you win? Because I tell you what, guys, I did. I finally won a home league. Not a home league, right? Let me get more specific. I won my college home league that I have not won in its 10 years of running. So we did it. That was my white whale, man. Now that I accomplished that, I don't really know what's left for me in this life. I'm not sure. I took it down. I got made fun of a lot. The league members know how much I do this. They know how much I care. And they're like, dude, you suck. You suck at fantasy football. That's what they told me. They said that to my face at many a gathering. They said, dude, you're fucking bad. Well, guess what? I'm not bad anymore. I stopped making stupid trades. That was really my downfall. But anyways, no one gives a shit about home leagues, but I do want to hear about yours. If you won, let me know. GM, everybody in the chat, I see you guys. Appreciate you for hanging out. Today, no John, just me, just your boy, and we are going to talk NBA today. Not a whole lot going on with the NFL right now, so there's a lot of contests up for hoops right now. And it's important that we talk about them. There's a lot of things to discuss today. I'm a mess right now. I need to shave so badly. I'm letting this thing grow out. I've got too many. This beard is not connected enough to let grow out. It's bothering the shit out of me. I need to put something else on screen and distract myself from the fact that I look a mess. It's the holidays, and we're busy. I got a bunch of family coming in again this weekend for a baby shower for my wife. So yeah, got a lot going on, but let's just get right into it, guys. Let's get in it. And because there's a lot of people here right now, more than we're used to whenever I do these shows behind the paywall, give this a like, please. Like the video, for whatever it's worth. Helps us feed our dogs. My future child depends upon you liking this video. That seems dire, but guys, it's the truth. I don't make the rules. Let's get into the slate. I'm going to pull up unabated, get their odds screener up, and let's take a look at these lines for today and how they can help us make decisions in the Battle Royale streets. Sounds like a plan? Boom. I'm going to move myself to the other side of the screen. I have to do this manually. If you could see me behind the screens, I'm editing a layout in StreamYard. Boom. There we go. All right. Guys, this is a 7-game slate, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7-game slate. A nicely sized slate. Very nice. The 6th round is somewhat deep, but nothing that is giving me too much of a headache, but it is sort of deep. I think there's a lot of different decisions that we can make here. Let's go ahead and check out some of these lines. If you have not seen the unabated screener before, we use this to help make decisions for Battle Royales. Well, I do. So, and maybe if you are in a legal betting state, you can use this information to help you make an informed decision with your wagering if you like to do that. But I use these to kind of help me formulate a decision tree in Battle Royale drafts. This is sort of where I begin with all that stuff. Baby due in March. It's kind of iffy on the exact date, but probably right around NBA Dog Bowl. So I'm going to be trying for NBA Dog Bowl. But if I do happen to win a seat, I won't be able to make it, assuming that does go live in the finals are when I expect them to be, which would be sometime in March. So that's a no-go. I am no fly zone in March. I got to stay home. So gotta wait for baby boy. First things first, let's take a look at Bulls Hornets. -5.5 is the best line. You're seeing -5 and a 225 total. I kind of chuckled at that line because I am simply perplexed at the fact that this is only a 5-point spread. Let's look at the Hornets today. I'm going to flip over to Underdog. I have LaMelo Ball in to kind of help me determine where my tier is toward the 6th round. Miles Bridges, Mark Williams, Vasily Micic, Josh Green, Diabate, Saloon, the rookie, Seth Curry. I mean, look at this team, dude. I know that they're really kind of just missing LaMelo, but they are missing Brandon Miller too. And Trey Mann's been out for a while as well. My point is that this team, the Bulls, even though they're in Charlotte, could be 5 points better than this team. So it's interesting. But where we can potentially benefit from this is that Miles Bridges is here by himself playing against the Chicago Bulls, and we like when teams play the Chicago Bulls. Miles Bridges, as you can see, 11.4 ADP. It's not cheap for Miles Bridges, but it's probably worth it. If you look at the pick'ems for Miles Bridges, 34.5 PRA, that's one of the best that you're going to find. It makes sense for where his ADP is. You look at some of the past performances as well. We have fantasy points up now for pick'ems. Miles Bridges, man, is in for a big day. You can see the last 3 games that he's been playing. He's been playing pretty well, doing some stocks, filling it up in rebounds, getting some assists there. Now, the assist number has got to be low, right? Because who's putting the ball in the hole if he's dishing, right? He's got 4.5 assists. This is, amped up to the higher. You can't take him any lower. I don't like playing lower. I'm not a huge fan of taking the multipliers, and this isn't a pick'em show, but I would definitely say Miles Bridges is a lower here. So a lot of time spent on this game right now. Mark Williams, 6th-round pick only for me. Micic is for full court press only for me. On the Bulls, though, the Bulls, very interesting up and down the board. Vucevic always has a high ADP. I think people still have that meme in their mind that you have to take centers against Charlotte. I don't necessarily subscribe to that. I pretty much fade Vooch every slate. I'm never very high on Vooch on most slates. Right now, I have Vooch well behind ADP. Yeah, he's behind Zubac. He's behind Murray. He's behind DeJounte. I've got him 3 picks behind ADP. So not getting a ton of Vooch. Don't plan on it really today very much. I have Levine ranked ahead of Josh Giddey. Giddey just put up 60 with a triple-double. Man, we've been chasing that Giddey triple-double all season. Giddey and Simmons been trying to hit their triple-doubles. Missed this one bad. Milwaukee was such a great spot for Giddey. And I think on paper, people see Bulls versus Hornets and think, great spot. This is great. I think people see the Hornets losing stars and think this is great for the Bulls. This is a great spot for the Bulls. That's not how I think about these things. That's not how I think about teams losing stars, especially stars like LaMelo, a la the Warriors without Steph. Is it a little too? Is this a little too zoomed? Sorry, I figured everybody was old like me. Hornets without LaMelo are not a team that I am like super stoked to play against. I would much prefer LaMelo playing in this game. When teams lose their stars, the game slows down, and it's just like the guys that come up play scrappier. Watch this game just explode, but I have some trepidation about this game. But I like Levine more than Giddey. Giddey has been awesome. His ADP is just clearly a product of scoring 60 fantasy points the last time he played. So I'm taking some Giddey. I'm definitely not taking him at ADP. Lonzo has a higher ADP than Kobe White. He probably won't play 20 minutes. So nothing for me there. Kobe White getting back up there, 30 minutes a night. Excuse me. Playing big minutes. Not the best spot in the world, but Kobe White is definitely a consideration in the 6th round, just because the 6th round has a lot of different ways that you can go about that. And that's really it for me. Spent a lot of time on this game. I don't think the other games will be taking quite as long, but this one definitely has the biggest deltas for me from rankings to ADP, and I think my sentiment is way different from the public on this game. Knicks Wizards. This game played really, really close the last time that these two teams faced off. I think the Knicks ended up winning that, I believe, but super, super close game. But Knicks 12.5 favorites, as they should be. Total, nothing too crazy. 228 is slightly, above what you were used to seeing, but that's not like a super awesome game. Just fuck my goddamn dog. He's still going. He's still going. He's still going. All right. Jesus Christ. Got a DoorDash at the door. God forbid my wife gets something to eat and my dog needs to protect this house. He's like in the Under Armour commercials. All right. Knicks ADPs. Karl-Anthony Towns is the 102 today. He's the 102 far and away because people are scared of this Embiid Q tag. And Tyrese Maxey is the 103 by ADP. Interesting. I have him right here. And really, I want to put him like behind Kyrie and behind De'Aaron Fox. But I'm getting like no Maxey by doing this. So I have Maxey right here. Karl-Anthony Towns had himself another 50-point game against the Wizards, but before that, it was bad game against the Pelicans because of foul trouble, and then just like, not a great fantasy environment against the Magic, and then the Spurs, just a weird game against the Spurs. I think the Spurs are a little hard to call. I've been sort of trying to not really get too excited when teams play the Spurs. But we're back against the Wizards, and sorry, give me 1 second here. You can just put that in the fridge, man. All right. Got myself a smoothie. Hey, just let him stay. Sorry, guys. Yeah, that's a good point. Mikhail did score 50 ass points. So what's Cat gonna do when Mikhail is taking over? Thank you for the context, dude. This dog. I'm about. Does anybody want a dog? I'm gonna give him away. Get the hell out of here. Brunson, ADP 9.6. He's got the Q tag. He's got a Q tag, but no one's really thinking much about it. ADP 9.6 with a Q tag against the Wizards. People don't want to miss out if he does play. And Brunson's tough as shit, man. Brunson doesn't really miss games. So 55 the last time they played, 69 points. Nice. People are going to want to play that again. Josh Hart over here, ADP 20, a little rich for me. A little rich. Who do I have? I have Levine and Garland initially over Josh Hart. But Josh Hart, man, it's hard to get away from Josh Hart. Like this 17-point outing against the Raptors. God, man, that is such a wild number considering how awesome Toronto is for opposing fantasy players. But what Josh Hart gives you is just so valuable, right? I mean, it's more valuable when he's a 6th-round pick, but he is just one of the best floors that you can get. It's hard to get away from Josh Hart, but I have other guys ahead of him because I just like these ceilings more than the Josh Hart ceiling, but I'm taking Josh Hart, and I don't want to be too underweight Josh Hart. Mikhail, yeah, Sam in the chat. Shout out Sam, back-to-back. Hoops winner, by the way. Coming from my spot. Sam Mikhail is back. Yeah, he looks good. 35 here, 27-9 here, no bueno. 60 against the Spurs, putting up 41 points. Was there really no rebounds for him in that game? That's hilarious. Just an absurd game for Mikhail. I'm not drafting Mikal Bridges very much today. This ADP sub 30 means he's getting drafted a lot. And on top of that, I'm just not a fan of him in this spot here. I mean, the spot is fine, don't get me wrong. I'm just not a fan of Mikal Bridges on the Knicks right now. I know he's playing better in real life. For me, he's just not somebody that I'm going to have a lot of today. Magic Up saying, it would be terrible to take OG when no one else is. Ooh, that would be terrible, wouldn't it? Especially when his box scores look like this. Nobody wants OG and Anunoby. The thing is like, people see the top 3 scores here and just think that he's never going to put up 30 or 40 again. If you want to take Mikal, I think you should be mixing in OG as well. OG in my full court press, in my rotation in the 6th round, quite a bit. Wizards, Jordan Poole, questionable, missed the last game. What is it? With a hip? It's a bruised hip, so hopefully he's good to go today. You can get Jordan Poole in the 6th round right now, but as soon as he's active, if he is active, you're not going to get him. You're not going to get him in the 6th. That's right. Who needs a projection source when you can look at box scores, man? Especially with 5, that's all you need. That's all you need. Bilal Coulibaly is the second Washington Wizard off the board today. And his box scores, man, look at the box scores. They look great. But Kyle Kuzma's back today. Almost certainly going to impact Coulibaly's fantasy output. No injury designation. It's a rib injury. And I think you can question whether or not we even get a minutes restriction on Kyle Kuzma, given the fact that it is a rib injury. It's just a matter of how conditioned he is and how much the Wizards want to commit to tanking. I'm not taking Kuzma today, but you can take Kuzma in the 6th if you think that he catches fire. Maybe he plays 30 minutes. I think there are paths to Kuzma being a good pick in the 6th round. It's not something that I'm doing. Valanciunas. Joe Val is probably the best pick on the Wizards right now. Brogdon, if we get no pool, then Brogdon should definitely be inserted into people's player pool. We will get 30 minutes of Brogdon. He's a very solid fantasy point per minute player. Pull out Brogdon up into the 6th round every single time. Joe Val should be mixed in the 6th round right now as well. And I say that because Sar got hit with this late questionable tag. We had injury reports last night. Sar got labeled questionable today. Sar's been playing pretty solid ball, as you can see via the box scores. He's a rookie, so they want to get him more run. They're probably going to be careful with him too. So if Sar sits, then we can definitely get some more Joe Val into our lives. He's not playing any more than 28 minutes max, especially, Bagley's out, guys. So that's really, really interesting. Keep Joe Val in your 6th round rotations today for sure. They might get killed by the Knicks, but Joe Val and Brogdon are going to play big minutes. They have to, especially if we get no Jordan Poole. So keep an eye out for that one. That's definitely one to keep. I just said that. Keep an eye out. I'm going to take a quick sip of my smoothie, guys. Okay. Clippers, Pelicans. Interesting. This is very interesting. Why is it interesting? The best line just went down to 4.5. I'm surprised this line is shrinking. I think the Clippers are a better team than 5 points than the Pelicans on the road. I really do. I mean, we had Misi in. We had Misi in like before I started the stream. Yeah, I think the Clippers are a really good team. I think the Clippers are a really good team, and I love the Pelicans. We love the Pelicans on this show. Hey, man, I don't know about this. So, if you believe that this game plays tight, then the Pelicans are pretty interesting. But the Clippers are not a good matchup for fantasy opponents. The Pelicans are a good matchup for fantasy opponents. So, we really like James Harden today. Love James Harden today. I'm not getting a ton of him. Or maybe I'm just not noticing how much James Harden I am or am not getting. We love James Harden. We love Zubac. Love Zubac. Fantastic pick today. Just a stock monster, and giving you 30 PRA today. Most of that weighted towards rebounds. Big minutes for Zubac. Potentially a close game where he's going to be needed to stay on the floor more often than usual. I have Zubac 1-2 turn right now. Ish. He's below Jamal Murray for me, but if I'm drafting manually, I am the Jokic 1-2 turn because I don't think a lot of people are. Love Zubs, and I love Norm Powell. Norm Powell is expensive today at 20 ADP. It's worth it. It's absolutely worth it, man. The Clippers, just like against all odds, are a really good team. Norm Powell has an awesome offensive role, and he's been doing it in stocks too, man. One time, every time you talk about Norm Powell, you got to give a shout out to Pam, Nick Pam, dude. The biggest Norm Powell bag holder I've ever seen. If one ever existed, he was the first, and his NBA basketball bags are booming. He got me on some Norm Powell. This role is real. Projections, I don't think are going to like Norm Powell today. Let me confirm that. No, they do. We finally are getting respect on Norm Powell, in the projections. That's great. That's fantastic. He deserves it. I have him greater than Hart today, I think. Yeah. I've got Norm Powell right here. How crazy is it that I have Donovan Mitchell right in front of Norm Powell? Say what you will, guys. I am not and will never be. I mean, I never say never. I'm not a Spida guy. I love to hashtag let them know with the best of them. That's not my cup of tea today. I need to turn my phone off, D&D. Can you guys just give me a holler if any NBA news comes across my desk? Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Can we talk about D'Angelo Russell basketball bags? No, because I don't have enough. Oh, dude. That first D'Angelo Russell Cam Thomas game is gonna be crazy. That's gonna be crazy. I have tears in my eyes thinking about how fucking insane that first Nets game is gonna be. Those two are gonna combine for 60 shots, and the opposing team is gonna fucking light them up. That's gonna be generational wealth. I promise you. That first Nets slate with those two guys on it, gen wealth. Let's go to the Pelicans. Here's what I have in the player pool. DeJounte, who when DeJounte first came back, I was a huge DeJounte bull. I didn't think people were valuing him enough. Against the Clippers, I have my trepidation here. He's a stock god, but I do worry about the offensive output here. So we will see. I don't have a ton of DeJounte right now. I like Zubac way more than I like DeJounte. Pelicans. Trey Murphy, just a really good guy. And he's filling it up right now. He's kind of like fantasy point wise, he's like Josh Hart, but he's like bizarro Josh Hart because he's just like a bucket getter. Whereas Josh Hart is like, oh, I'm gonna do boards and assists. I'm gonna fill it up that way. And Trey Murphy's like, I'm gonna get buckets and never give you 50, but I'll give you close to 40 a lot. Good player at ADP, would not fade. McCollum is an interesting one. McCollum, I believe, projects better than Trey Murphy. He does by a fantasy point. McCollum has some bad games in his box scores, right? You see 18, 49, 18, 48. I lean more towards this game than these two games. Memphis and Denver are two exciting matchups. Houston is not that. The Clippers are not that. So not doing a ton of McCollum, but he goes most of the time. If he's there in at pick 36, yeah, absolutely. I'll take some McCollum. I'm not thrilled about CJ today. Halfway through the slate, guys. Halfway through. Yeah, I agree. It's pretty much a toss-up, but this is Tuna. I mean, pretty similar, right? He's sort of like Powell. Powell, I think, is more. Let me get a little youthful on you. Powell's saucier than Trey Murphy, but very similar fantasy-wise. Nick saying that he saw somewhere that D'Lo's a buyout candidate. Wouldn't that just be terrible? We need to put Cam Thomas, D'Lo, and Zach LaVine on the same team and see what happens. Let's just put them all on one team and just see what the hell happens. Who says no? There's 36 players drafted, and Awen only has 34 in his player pool. Dude's gonna scoop the layup line again. Okay. Here we go. Get psyched, guys. Get amped. This is Game of the slate. Nuggets versus the Jazz. This is what it's all about. This is where the winners come from. Cover boy Lauri Markkanen opened with an ADP in the 30s. Oh my god. Yuck. What are we doing? What are we doing? Jamal Murray, ADP 17 at open. People just do not yet fully grasp. I think you guys do. So I'm probably preaching to the choir here. What Nikola Jokic does for his teammates is like unforeseen compared to other players. Jokic improves everybody's output so much, it's crazy. It's absolutely nutty. Like, here's what would happen, and I hope it doesn't happen. If Jokic, like let's say Jokic gets rolled out in 2 minutes. Oh my God, Jokic out. People would boost Jamal, and maybe Jamal Murray does need a boost against Utah, but like you should not be thinking that no Jokic is like the best thing ever for these Nuggets. They need Jokic. Jokic helps everybody. Oh, dude, I mean, I can't even think about what this output would be, but it'd be terrible. It'd be terrible. Jokic is the most important player in basketball. And 7.5 point favorites. This is awesome because we got a super high total. We should see fireworks here. I'll try to update my exposures so I can see how much Jamal Murray and Lauri Markkanen I have, but I promise you it's a ton. Let me get an update going on the side here, and then I'll pull that up. Let's look at this, the PRAs here. Lauri Markkanen 31.5, Michael Porter Jr. 27.5, Jamal Murray 33.5, Russ 25.5. It's solid, man. It's solid. Jamal Murray now 15.8. Jamal Murray needs to be a 1-2 turn pick, potentially greater than that. But I like pairing Jamal Murray and Jokic because in my mental model, they correlate well with one another. This game is close and high scoring. These two benefit from each other's fantasy outputs. So I love pairing them together. I love Jamal Murray in general today. His box scores, care about that. Of course I do. Have been great, but these are two very fantasy-friendly matchups, Cleveland and Detroit. Utah is stupid healthy. Healthy. I'm reading Sam's comment. I can't read and talk at the same time. Russ, man. Russ has an ADP ahead of Michael Porter Jr. He has a projection slightly greater on ETR. Both these guys are fantastic, and I say that, and I mean it. We haven't seen a 30-point plus performance from Michael Porter in the last 3 games here. I think you could get one against Utah. This is one where I want to have a lot of Michael Porter. I prefer Russ. Russ has a little bit of beef with Utah, so he might go crazy here. Love all 4 of these guys tonight. And look, Everest Yeti is going to be at that game. You're going to a great game, dude. I am so jealous. Jazz side of things is a little bit more difficult. Other than Markkanen for me, probably my highest drafted player right now. Walker Kessler, he was going in the 20s on like similar slates like this. Now ADP 28. This is a good ADP for Kessler. Honestly, a little bit too cheap for Walker Kessler. He's going to be playing a lot, and we could get some good stocks here from Kessler. I think this is a good pick. And then Sexton, Keynote, aka Keontae, and Jordan Clarkson. I am interchanging these guys in the 6th round right now. I love Sexton, but I don't love him as much when Keontae plays. They have a really strong overlap in what they do in their skill sets. Jordan Clarkson, I'm not really. I said I'm cycling him in, like kinda, not really, but like he should be. This is why it's tough, man, because like Sexton, Keontae, and Jordan Clarkson. This town ain't big enough for the 3 of them. So someone's getting cannibalized here. I'm gonna probably do some Sexton and maybe think that Keynote doesn't play a full allotment of minutes. I think that's how I'm gonna play this. Super fun game though. Shout out Laurie. Let's go Laurie. Mavs Kings. If Luka was here, we would have the Luka revenge game for Sacramento passing on him. To this day, one of the most egregious errors I've ever seen. Just impossibly bad for the Kings not to take Luka, but I digress. Kings 4-point favorites. Mavs don't have Luka. Mavs don't have Najee Marshall. Mavs may not have Derek Lively. Kings, on the other hand, are pretty much fully healthy. Yeah, I think they are just straight up fully healthy. Need to have Malik Monk in these ranks. That's definitely an issue and an error by me to not have him in there. I must have accidentally passed over him. Oopsie daisy. Let's put him right here. Only 228 total. I wish this was a better looking game on paper, but it's not. We need Luka on the court to make this game faster and the defense worse. Sabonis will go over Embiid a lot, and I don't know if I agree with that. In fact, I don't agree with that. I'm going to take Embiid, and if Embiid doesn't play, I'll take my L. If you're scared, go to church, man. Embiid 3. Enjoy your 33% Embiid. And if he plays, your EV, the EV on your entire portfolio is just like, it would be so hard to lose money if Embiid plays and you have him 3 and you end up with 30%. And this is such a good point. Embiid loves to beat up on the bad teams. He just does. Park, thanks for hanging with us. Fashionably late. De'Aaron Fox, I have behind Kyrie, but honestly, guys, I am not like the biggest fan of Kyrie. I just have been doing that because I'm trying to like play the field. In my heart of hearts, I have Fox greater than Kyrie today. But this game against Sacramento, I do think that you can actually see Kyrie kind of do what he did against Portland, where he fills it up like crazy. Did it against Minnesota. I'm just not the biggest Kyrie drafter today. You can check, shout out the Wood for his profit tracker. You can see how much I draft certain players against the field comparatively. And I don't draft a lot of Kyrie Irving. I like Kyrie more when Luka plays, personally. Okay, so for the Kings, DeRozan is ADP 30. I have very little interest in DeMar DeRozan today. He's going to be drafted a little too much for me, and I think ETR agrees with me that the DeRozan projection is nothing. They like DeRozan today. All right, where do I have DeRozan? Yeah, I do not have the same love for the DeRozan spot that ETR does. Monk is interesting today against Dallas. I like his ceiling more than DeRozan. And then I Keegan Murray, just for the full court press. I can't get over Keegan Murray. What does the green icon beside the player's name mean? You might be behind the stream. I'm not sure. Just means that they're active and that they're expected to play. Sometimes that happens if players opened up the slate with the Q tag. So you'll see that sometimes. New coach. So, I mean, I don't think ETR cranks up the uncertainty meter on their projections. I think that they care a lot about what DeRozan's history is and probably his prior performances this season. I think that's probably what they care more about. But gotta use your noodle, man. DeRozan, you gotta get lesser drafted players. Rydock glazing me in the chat. Not even playing hoops today, just here to learn from the master. Come on. I appreciate you, Rydock. Thanks for hanging out and being a part of our community. And then Mavericks. Didn't talk about the Mavericks side of this game yet. You can see, guys, I've got players queued up here. I like playing the Kings. They're not like a super, super awesome matchup, but they're not bad. And the Mavericks today, like I said, they're without Luka, obviously. They're without Najee Marshall. So there are some things opening up, and they could be without Derek Lively. It would be a second straight game missed. He's got a hip injury. It's a bruise. I tell you what, guys, if Derek Lively sits, Daniel Gafford, once again, he needs to be treated as such. We need to have a pretty strong stance on Daniel Gafford if we get Derek Lively news. It is extremely unfortunate that we do not have the news yet, and it's unfortunate that this game is in Sacramento, so it could take a really long time. But if we get Derek Lively news early, get those Gafford shares up, or I wouldn't take Lively on his own. Just need to wait for that. Kyrie, I already kind of talked about Kyrie. PJ, ADP 35.6, not drafted a ton. Love PJ today. Tyler in here saying screams PJ game. I agree. PJ second option against Sacramento. Going to be playing close to 40 minutes coming off the suspension. Love PJ today in the 6th round. You're starting to see him go consistently in the 6th round despite that ADP. So give him a bump in your ranks for sure. Clay is just a full court press option for me. And Gafford, I am ready and willing to get way the fuck up in my ranks. A1 saying Sabonis rebound line was 15 last night. What is it right now? 14.5. Holy fuck. I like doing this too, guys. Let's just take a quick detour. If you're looking for different edges, check out the fantasy points pick'ems, man. Compare them to your own biases. Compare them to the projections that you use. I think that this is a really valuable resource. Like seeing what Underdog is listing for pick'ems on fantasy points can be really helpful in ranking. Like Miles Bridges, not even a 40-point projection going at the 1-2 turn. Interesting. Norm Powell, Trey Murphy, great call by Tuna. Very similar players stylistically and fantasy point wise. Jamal Murray, 41.65. That's better than Steph. That's better than Spida, who has an ADP of 10. And Embiid sitting here with a 48. Sabonis, 45. Fox, 43. Kyrie, 41. Yeah. Maxey, 46. So, okay, let's put a little respect on Maxey. I would take Sabonis higher over Maxey, but that's just me. We'll do this at the end. Let's continue with the slate breakdown. 2 more games, guys. 2 more games. Cavs versus Warriors. High scoring game here at 231. It's the second highest total on the slate, I believe. Yes, it is. Let's go. Let's take a look at this one. Let's start with the Warriors. Steph Curry, as you saw in the Pick'em lobby, projects for less than 40 points, but it's Steph in the second highest total game on the slate. I'm going to probably take some Steph tonight above the field. I like these kind of spots for Steph. Steph in a high-scoring game. Enough said, really, man. I mean, it's Steph fucking Curry, dude. He can absolutely do crazy things. Now, you see he scores 38, and we get only 44 fantasy points here, but usually he's giving more in the stock department. So I like Steph. I like when people don't like Steph. And I don't think ETR is super high on Steph Curry right now, so that also plays a factor. Jonathan Kuminga, dude. Steph played last game, and he still went crazy against the Suns. 51 fantasy output, insane. Almost 60 fantasy points against the Clippers. I was sweating car park. He was chasing me down the night that I took down hoops the other day, and man, this Kuminga score was crazy. And then you look just a game later past the Lakers, and he puts up 43. We've been waiting for Jonathan Kuminga to the quote-unquote breakout. It was never on Jonathan Kuminga to do these type of things. It was always on Steve Kerr. Always on Steve Kerr. Guys, the ETR projections have Kuminga, and I'm pretty sure it's a disrespectful projection. They might have updated it. I'm pretty sure he's not even in their top 30. I got Jonathan Kuminga in the 6th round earlier. One of two things is happening with Jonathan Kuminga. One, he's being showcased to be traded. Number two, Steve Kerr took a strong hit on the head from a blunt object and rewired his brain and realized that he needs to play Jonathan Kuminga more. He's worth his ADP. I have him behind Trey Murphy right now because of where projections are putting him. And I have Levine and Laurie ahead of him. I want to make sure I don't lose sight of Kuminga, and I want him right behind Garland right now. So I am ignoring the fact that our overlords do not think Kuminga is worthy of his ADP. I would override that. I don't think I called him Mingo. Sometimes my mic cuts out, so maybe that's what it sounded like. I don't want to. If that's his nickname, that'd be cool. I think Draymond Green, by the way, while we're on here, 34, 29, 44 in his last 3. He's going to play a lot of minutes, high-scoring game. Should be doing a lot in all categories. I like Draymond today a lot. TJD was just somebody I was taking in full-court presses. He's been playing a lot more, doing a lot fantasy-wise. I think this is a game that we could see a lot of TJD, and that's really it for me, Warrior-wise. Cavaliers. Donovan Mitchell. Guys, if Donovan Mitchell goes off, it's just not going to be my night. It's just not my night if Donovan Mitchell goes crazy. I like Mobley more than I like Donovan Mitchell tonight. I have him ranked as such. I like Darius Garland every single night, and I like Darius Garland tonight a lot against the Warriors. If Steph was not playing for the Warriors, I would like this game way less, and the total would reflect that from the public's point of view as well, but Steph is in, and this makes this game positive for everybody. Jared Allen, I'm sprinkling in, but if he didn't have this 50 ball, he would be just not drafted. He's not a player I'm excited to get to, but I have him on my radar. I don't want to completely lose sight of Jared Allen. For me, Mobley and Garland above the field. Mitchell, almost a full fade on Donovan Mitchell. Warriors, Steph, Kuminga, and I think 6th round Draymond is sharp. If somebody in the 6th round puts up 50, I'm fucked. If somebody in the 5th round puts up 45, also not great, but I think like a 38 ball from Draymond Green in the 6th round, that can help you put up positive ROIs. Last game, guys, is here it is. Sixers versus Blazers. God damn, man. 222 total. Only 6.5 point favorites for the Sixers, which I find interesting. Maxey goes ahead of Embiid. Tisk on the field. I know Maxey projects extremely well, but you got to have Embiid ahead of Maxey, in my professional opinion. And I am a professional. Paul George ADP 22. On Underdog in the Pick'em lobby, he has a 34 projection here. Paul George, when Embiid and Maxey are on the court, is going to be the most overdrafted player more often than not. Today, it looks like things are a little more in line. Compared to Josh Hart does project better than Paul George. Let's see who else I have ahead of him. Levine does not project better, so I think I maybe need to cool off on the Levine love. Ayton, 31. So yeah, the Ayton ADP is out of hand. This actually feels fine for Paul George. This feels fine. I think instinctively, I'm putting a ton of weight on players that are behind Paul George, just because typically he is overdrafted. Today, it seems a little bit more in line. I think if this was like last week, or a game without a sample size of him without Embiid or him with Embiid, if we did not have that sample size, people would be putting Paul George like 1-2 turn type shit. It would be absurd, but the field is kind of caught on. So telling myself this, I have permission to take Paul George today. It's not great, but you do have permission. Portland is ugly. Really, really ugly. We don't know that Embiid is in, but I'm playing as though he is. And if you're drafting, I mean, if you're only doing a handful of drafts, you don't have to take Embiid. But if you're drafting at volume, you got to take Embiid. You have to take Embiid. I just don't see how that gamble is worth it at all, to not take Embiid if you're playing at volume. Portland, guys, really, really ugly. They're pretty deep right now. I don't know why I have Jeremy Grant queued. I don't want any Jeremy Grant. Banton, Q tag. He's missed a ton of time. Robert Williams, Time Lord, what else is new, has missed a bunch of time. Jeremy Grant playing minutes, but he hasn't done much. We're seeing a lot more Denny Advia, which could be a real sign here. Denny's a good fantasy player. We should be into taking Denny in the 6th round. We should be cycling him in. I think Simons should be cycled in the 6th round as well. I thought that this game against Philly would be a lower total. So seeing it be above 220 definitely makes me think that we need to be putting in some Portland players into our lineups. And they should not be probably DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre Ayton, 52, 43, and 50. So people see that, and they gave him an ADP of 19. I'm going to continue to fight the good fight against DeAndre Ayton. I've been fading him pretty much every single slate, other than when he's like a pick in the 6th round. I'm not doing this DeAndre Ayton stuff, so if he kills me, he kills me. I'm not going to be a part of it. Scoot, playing some better ball, man. 49, almost 50 fantasy points with 6 stocks. That played a huge part in that output. So I'd much rather do Shaedon Sharpe. I think Shaedon Sharpe is much more consistent. He's playing better, and he has the minutes. And these two are both their futures. But I like Shaedon Sharpe today in the 6th round, and I like Simons in the 6th round. We have these two poor performances, but He's a big part of their offense. So I would consider mixing in Simons for the ceiling, and same with Obdia. I'm saying his name wrong. Obdia. Get some Obdia in there as well. Definitely worth it. That's the slate, guys. That's the slate. I don't know if people like watching me build ranks or not, but Jokic, Cat, and Embiid definitely to Sabonis are definitely my top 4. And then Maxey here. I think I'm going to do Maxey here. I'm not getting enough Maxey. Maybe I just will never, but I'm going to just give Maxey a small bump. That's basically just milk now. Harden, Fox, Kyrie. I feel good about these. I think I would actually do this. Brunson over Kyrie feels good. Jamal Murray is about to get a lot of love. I want so much Zubac today. What did Underdog have for... Okay, so DeJounte is 39.8. Where's my guy Zoobs? 38.25. And then Miles Bridges, 38.35. That just seems like a decent fade, man. And then Curry is 39. So I think I'm going to keep rocking with my guy Curry. That's what I feel good about right there. And yeah, I mean, this is tough. This is tough right here. I'll probably just do this, play the ADP game, because I don't want to, like, this is not the worst spot for Vooch, but it's definitely not one that I'm into. When you say interesting, do you like the higher? It's the Vooch fantasy points is 39 right now. I think I kind of like that on the higher. Yeah, Tuna, I am going to draft. I'm just going to, after talking this out with you guys, I want to confirm that I like my ranks. Mobley, 36 in the pick'em lobby, not great. What's Donovan Mitchell, 38? All right, let's not be dumb. Actually, fuck it, man. Who cares? I'm not going to get any Donovan Mitchell anyways. Norman Powell, Laurie, I need to chill on this Levine love here. Let's do that. So we'll go Powell, Markkanen, Hart, Garland, Kuminga, Paul George, Levine. That feels fine. There's Ayton, so I don't lose track of him. Trey Murphy, Josh Giddey, McCollum. Let's get Kessler up here a little bit. There we go. Jordan Poole, we're keeping an eye on. I'm going to actually put Jordan Poole a little higher. I think Jordan Poole is a good play if he plays. A fine play if he plays. But if he doesn't, I really want the swaps. Yeah, and I would probably take the higher on Powell fantasy points. Maybe I will. Westbrook, PJ, Michael Porter. Love these guys. Mikal, just to see them. Let's get Shaden Sharp up. Get Anthony up. Brogdon. Where's Joe Val? Get Joe Val up. Denny up. Keontae, I'm going to be sitting out on. Gafford, I want to keep an eye on. Let's get Scoop behind these guys. So if any news happens with those players that I was talking about, like with the Mavericks, if Lively sits, with the Wizards, if Sarr is officially out or Poole is officially out, we're making big changes to Gafford. We're making big changes to Brogdon. Where did I put Brogdon? There he is. All right. Let's draft a $5 draft. The main slate here, Monday Night Hoops. Let's get in here. I've done 35 drafts. While that draft is loading, sorry guys, I think I just rugged everybody. There we go. Nice. Cool. Got in first try. Let's take a look at my exposures. Mind you, a lot of these have been auto drafted, but I am trying to do as much manual drafting of the main slate as possible. Were you in there with me late at night? Thanks, Emwald. Here is the exposures so far. Let's go and get the full court press out of here. Michael Porter, hello. Embiid, hello. Markkanen, hello. Curry, hello. CJ. I did not want this much CJ. I'm on the clock. I've got all the Norm I wanted. I've got the Garland I wanted. I got the Brunson. And this was at like ADP. If you're curious, like, how much this percentage is, the average is 16%. 17%, really. So these are all like well above average. You can see I have 39 players in my player pool. Awen made a comment saying he has 34 players in his total player pool. I'm pretty condensed a lot of the time. And it's not because of the late round guys that I'm condensing around, it's the early guys that I'm condensing around. And then I'm mixing in later guys around those condensed pieces where I'm making strong fades that people are taking a lot of early and strong stances that I don't think people are taking enough of. That's the formula. I have Mobley over Markkanen. I don't know how that compares to the underdog pick'em lobby for fantasy points, though. I want more Zubac for sure. Fox and Murray, I'm really happy with. Levine is a little frothy now that we've kind of talked about it. Josh Hart, I'm totally fine with having more than the field on Josh Hart. Giddey, I want to calm down on. DeJounte is fine. I'm on the clock. Ricky goes Jamal Murray. This is a cat team. This is where I think we'll go Zubac. There's no Utah. There should have been. I think it's. Did we just get like an update or something? Markkanen was in there. John Kurek, Dog Bowl winner, goes Jokic and DeJounte and Steph. Once again, Cat and Zubac for us. I think we'll go Vooch here. Magikarp, based on what I'm saying, I want Powell's hires and Levine's hires. Okay. See, this Vooch percentage is too low. Too low. Powell really low. Mobley really low. You're seeing the fades here in real time in some guys that I am mixing in. Donovan Mitchell, 2 shares. These are the fades. Maxey, fade. Kessler, Paul George, Kyrie. Guys that I am not taking a lot of right now. Sabonis, I love Sabonis, but just the way that how much do I auto versus manual? I would say probably 50-50. If I could help it, I would manual the whole thing. All right, we're looking at Kuminga as our top option here. I think that's fine. We'll see what Kurek does. He goes Giddey and Paul George. So we're Cat, Zubac, Vooch, Kuminga. Zubac, Vooch, Kuminga, 3 bigs and a guy that just fills up the cup. Let's go Russ. We're gonna reach and go Russ here. This is for my last 2 picks. You guys, 2 things. One, if you're not building Nikola Jokic teams, I'm not gonna lie, you need to be a little bit scared. And how do we combat the Nikola Jokic lineups? If Nikola Jokic is not dominating, I don't think it's because this game is bad. I think it's because there's production going elsewhere. And you probably want 1 nugget in every single lineup. I don't even think that that's an exaggeration. So we're going to pull up 2 6-rounders and get unique, because most people that take Russ will not have another 6-round pick paired with Russ. So we're going to get a little unique and pair 2 lesser paired players together. And Russ is probably not taken with Karl Anthony Towns all that often. We're going to review this draft board after I make this last pick. PJ really stands out to me right now. Shaden Sharp also stands out. We're going to go PJ. I like that narrative post-suspension. Manualing the whole thing would be a good way to get yourself rate limited. I mean, brother, do it on the phone. Do it on the active tab. I don't know how. You're the only person I know that's getting rate limited on Underdog. You need to take a look in the mirror. Tell the class, Rydock, in the chat. Tell the class how many Underdog tabs open you've had at max. Tell the class. All right, let's review this draft board, guys. This is a good idea to look at draft boards. You can't look at them after you close them. And these are 5 badged up drafters that are good at the games. Let's see what people are doing. You see Maxey at 5 to B Spurf. Now Ricky's going Embiid 3 as well. Amari goes Harden, Kyrie. Likely place for them to be. Brunson over Fox. Murray at pick 10. If you want Murray, you need to be trying to get Murray paired with Jokic is awesome. You should just try to be getting a ton of Murray, in my opinion. Murray at 10 and 11 is good money. Zubac, I think this is a more aggressive stance here. I took Vooch. This is a really late Miles Bridges pick, but you might be seeing this a little bit more. He typically lives in this range, 11 to 14. So there's a little bit of a late pick on Miles Bridges. Donovan Mitchell, he has an ADP of 10. An ADP of 10. But maybe this is where you're starting to see him live, is in this 3rd round. Mobley and Donovan Mitchell, I think, are almost always going back to back. This is a tier. Excuse me. After Evan Mobley, massive tier. Massive tier. Could Hart outscore Mobley and Mitchell and Bridges? Absolutely. These top 17 picks, if you're making rankings, this should just be its own thing. Now, Hart to Powell, this is where shit gets really, this is the Wild West at this point. After pick 17, where Josh Hart goes, especially if you are at the 1-2 turn and your first picks are Harden and Kyrie, and you're up against Joel Embiid, Karl Anthony Towns, Nikola Jokic, how are you going to beat those teams if those teams don't fail, but put up maybe like 50 or 60? I agree with what Magikarp's saying in the chat right now. Got to get weird. I really do think you need to think about this. And it's hard to do this if you are not auto drafting. Or if it's hard to do this if you are auto drafting. Apologies. You need to get in these lobbies. I'm serious. This is part of the edge, man. I am fortunate that I have the time on my hands to be in my lobbies thinking about combinations and shit like this. After Evan Mobley, you can literally do anything you want. I'm so serious. If you're a pick Harden, Kyrie, try doing Harden, Kyrie, Russ, Jordan Poole, Michael Porter, Zach LaVine. Pair all those guys. Pair all of them. They're not going to be found on the same team together. You could be avoiding massive landmines back here. Like it's just smart. The range of outcomes after pick 17, in my opinion, is just wide open. It's just wide open. Just get fucking weird. It's very important. These are, I'm not just like saying this. These are things that I do. Even at the 1-2 turn, I do this. I can prove it to you. The night that I won, I took Jaren Jackson, ADP 17. I took him pick 12. Desmond Bane. That was the last round pick. CJ McCollum, though, ADP 28, a small, like not a huge reach, but there was a reach there as well. I mean, just doing these weird things. Jaylen Brown, a slight pick ahead of ADP. We have a layup line after dark. I'm really bad at the diamond at the after dark stuff. Diamond after dark. Shout out to the baseball players. I'm not usually good at that stuff, but I might dabble. Not on this stream. Brown technically a reach as well. Yeah. Yeah, we kind of talked about Portland in the 6th round. Shaden Sharp is my favorite. Denny is worth a pick. You can do Scoot if you think Scoot is like riding some hot hand. And you can do obviously Simons. They don't get drafted a lot. And I think that game is fine enough that we should be trying to take some of them. This is basically room temp. My desk is disgusting. I've got a smoothie. Shout out Car Park, Troll Company. Got my water bottle. I've got a canteen of what was French press coffee. I've got a Monster, which still has a sip in it. Smoothie. T. Pollock is a good player, and he drafts a lot. He's a max enterer. He's good. Shout out to the 80 people chilling, watching right now. Just a quick plug, guys. Go ahead and give this a like if you're here and you haven't liked it yet. It helps support us. If you somehow are not subbed, give us a sub too. That helps support us, gets us more views. There's a link to Unabated in the chat as well. If you guys want to sign up for Unabated, they are running a sale right now, and you get $10 off your monthly subscription if you use our code badge, and it helps us. We get a little bit of money from that if you feel like signing up. That's my spiel. James Harden, pick 6. We're looking at Fox, Brunson, Kyrie, Jamal Murray. You gotta combat the 6-hole, man. And if you're playing the same 2 damn players every time from the 6th spot, you are doing yourself harm in the long run. Not to say Harden and Kyrie can't be who you need. I'm willing to just bet against it. Thank you, Steven. Appreciate the like. This is my first time, guys, doing the solo stream in front of the paywall. Not behind it. I'm in front of the paywall. Big Badge Bro trying to censor me and keep me hidden from the public. They said you got to pay to see Nez, the freak, like I'm a show at the fucking circus. 1 ticket, 1 admission. Come in and see Nez behind the paywall. Put a no strip on and draft and bullshit with everybody. That's what they were doing. Not anymore. You can't hold me back much longer. That's what I say. Nice person asking, do I ever do the $3 drafts? I max the $3 drafts every day. I can hear this in my head. Let's be real. I am a circus freak. I hate the circus. I hate clowns, but I am a circus freak. T. Pollock goes Cat, DeJounte, Miles Bridges. Spida falls to pick 17. This guy thinks it's his lucky day. By ADP, Ayton and Norm Powell. Let's do Norm here with Harden, and then I think we should think about taking a Pelican and playing this game being pretty fun. And I think we should do it with CJ and just get like uber strange with it. Har, Blake. Very funny. Can I don't know how many people here have watched us before or watched this before, but this does seem like an odd amount of viewers for a solo stream on hoops. So I'm glad that you guys are here. This is probably the wrong. I was gonna do a brag session, a flex session, just to help with the marketing, but I think we've done that enough. I post my winning screenshots on Twitter. Don't think we need to do much more bragging here, but Scott's profit tool, that is that does me a great service. And at the end of the day, I am trying to help build a brand and trying to accumulate more followers, more subs, trying to be a staple in this community. And I think we're doing a good job. So maybe or maybe not showing the finishing percentile histogram. We'll see. But shout out Jay Fresh, man. Jay Fresh giving out 5 Badge Bros memberships. Let me pop in the YouTube chat and see exactly who was awarded those memberships while we get ready to think about what to do with these last 2 picks. Tony Frank, loving the content. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Good luck in these streets if you're out here drafting. Luke, Trev, Big Sunny. I need glasses, bro. I really need glasses. Oh, I have to like look and squint. I need to go to the optometrist. Grant Man, and then Recipes with Reed. Shout out to you guys, man. Congrats on being members. We do members only streams throughout the week, and on Friday nights, I do a stream every Friday night where we just draft. It's at like 10 o'clock Eastern. We hang out, drink beers, vibe. It's a good time. Similar to this. Very, very similar to this. Okay, this team, by the way, guys, Harden, Jamal Murray, Norm Powell, CJ McCollum, Brad, GM dude, thanks for hanging out with me. I think this will be Jordan Poole. If you are taking a Q tag player and you're making 2 picks in a row, make sure you take that Q tag player here so you can get a priority swap. If you're not sure what that means, let me know if you are curious and I can help you out with that. Now, we could do Russ. He's the highest player in my ranks. Or we could just get even further off the board and do like Joe Val. I'm not sure that Russ and Jamal are good together. But I'm going to do Russ here. I think we've got crazy enough on this team. And this game could just be absolutely bonkers. So we're going to do that. James Harden, Jamal Murray, Norm Powell, CJ McCollum, Jordan Poole, Russell Westbrook. That's how you get weird at the 6 hole. These ADPs are ADP 6, ADP 15, ADP 20, 39, 28, 34. Pretty cool. And honestly, I probably should have taken Poole where I took Powell or Zubac or Powell or McCollum, but it's where we're at. Swish. Have I reached as far to get a Harden Zubac team? Not yet. You could definitely, where I did Harden and Murray, you could do Harden and Zubac here. Absolutely. You could absolutely do that. 2 things, guys. We're going to make a pick 'em. And then while I have everybody here, just because Scott does such a good job with his site, and not just because I want to show off these finishing percentages, but this is why you should watch the Bad Bros, guys. Because look, you could do this. You could have a graph that goes up to the left and down to the right. This is the most. My graph last year did not look like this. My graph last year was red here. Like it was much more evenly spread. This is redonkulous here, and I hate the word redonkulous. I can't believe I just said it, but it's because I do things like I've been like showing and telling you guys. So hang out with us, learn some tools, learn some tricks. It's gonna be good. Those are just like above or minus expected finishing rates. Scott WDFS Plebe on Twitter. It's his site, and he does a good job of tracking how often people draft certain players, how often the field drafts certain players, how you're finishing. It's a good way to kind of check yourself. Tyler asking, here's a question. If you get Sabonis Fox, are you trying to get Gafford or PJ for some last round correlation? It's definitely something that I think about for sure. I think there is some correlation in there that is not thought about. What did I change last year? Last year to this year? Well, I'm taking this stuff. I mean, I took it serious last year. I took this shit. I've been taking this shit extremely serious. I asked my wife. I've been taking this shit extremely serious, and from the jump, I've been very tapped in to the NBA, trying to keep a track on trends before things get picked up by markets and by projections. I felt like I had a better idea of the NBA landscape before projections. Caught up projections right now are very sharp. Everybody's going to be wrong every now and then. Projections right now, I think they took a little bit of time to get caught up. I think they're really sharp right now. So it's made it harder to continue to maintain this, but you got to be different than everybody else. You have to be willing to be different. Last year, what I would do a lot is I would take my spreadsheet and I would look at ADP and I would upload projections and I would see who was the biggest difference in ADP and attack the highest projected players based on where their ADP was. And I did the same thing everybody else did. And when I had good nights, I would have good nights. I finished last year with like a 22% ROI. I was good at NBA. I was one of the better players at NBA. Let anybody tell you with a 20% ROI is it doesn't feel like you're doing that well. At least it felt like to me I wasn't doing as well as I could have. So now what I've changed up is like I'm way more confident in my own plays. I use projections to see where I may be way off and need to correct myself. And I'm paying really close attention to combos on the board. And it's paid off. And I'm you know, you don't get those results without, you know, there's so much has gone right for me too. So much has gone right, but I play a lot. So you got to set yourself up to be, you know, it's a lot of reps. So I'm trying to put myself in positions to be right. And when I am right, I want to be right in a way that is extremely, extremely powerful. Magic Cup, remind me, who did we say that we liked? We liked Norm Powell, fantasy points. We like Levine, fantasy points. Laughing at Nick's comment. Easy game. Dude, the amount of stuff that you can place a pick 'em on is insane. The first 5 minutes, Jesus Christ. Levine higher, Norm Powell higher. I already have a fade on Mitchell. I don't think I need to necessarily like. So here's what's tough, right? The pick'em lobby knows what is a good spot and what isn't a good spot. I don't like Donovan Mitchell tonight in draft games. I don't like a lower on Donovan Mitchell in the pick'em lobby. That I do not like. But I like Zubac tonight. Is this like 38 or 39? Yeah. Oh, Kyrie ruled out? No fucking way, dude. Oh my God. You fucking dork. Let's put a cool 25 on this. If you guys want to play with me. My pick'em ROI is simply a tool to help lower my tax obligations at the end of the year. But guess what? It's fun. It hurts nobody. It goes to the economy. If you guys want to play along with me, there you go. Before I sign off, let's get Kyrie the fuck out of here. By the way, guys, with Unabated as well, last plug, links in the description if you do want to sign up. In their Discord, they have NBA news alerts, and they are the fastest. They are the fastest. They are faster than a Twitter push notification. They are delivering that stuff first. And honestly, I mean, this game is so sick and disgusting. The game we play is honestly like sicker than Redacted. It's sicker because you literally are constantly, it's an ever-changing market. So like getting that news quick and fast can honestly sometimes be a difference maker. All right, PJ is getting a bump. Dude, this sucks, man. This actually like is really bad for this game. I'm going to put PJ here. He's going to project well. He's going to look awesome. The Mavericks today are playing PJ, Klay Thompson. Did we get any Derek Lively news? Let me look at unabated here. Kyrie out, just Kyrie. Okay. So Dinwiddie is going to play every bit of 35 minutes. Is he capped at 30 fantasy points? I don't know, but you got to give Dinwiddie a bump. Din Shitty is right. We'll put him right here so I don't lose sight of him. This is exactly right. If you're drafting PJ in the 4th round, you have lost the fucking plot. Just straight up. Before we leave, let's wait and let's try to get an update on these Mavs and Kings pick'ems. Just told me to reach at the 4th. This is different. This is different. You don't want to be a slappy. You want to be a gal brainer. What is it? Yeah, Hardy is back. I'm not a Hardy guy, but he is back. I think I wanted Hardy to be Bones Highland so bad, but like he's just not. He's just not good. Dinwiddie is like like what we're looking for. But even then, you probably don't want Dinwiddie. But I'm going to mix him in. Yeah, I bet he will be a legend to you forever, Nick. I bet. Man. Who's going to be the first? Who's going to play chicken with these Kings lines? Let me know if you guys see anything before we sign off. Let's try to get a read on this. I don't think Unabated will have anything. Usually, like, Underdog will be the first to post. Any lean on how the Lions are going to play tonight? Well, according to Dan Campbell, they're going to play their balls off. Yeah, this no doubt, I think lowers some of the Kings for me. Maybe like a bump to Malik Monk, right? Like Malik Monk is just out here cooking because no one has to do shit. You should still draft the Kings, but like it makes me like that game significantly less. -6.5 for the Kings. PJ and Klay are at 25. Yeah, I think so, and like I don't think I want any part of it. Which one? The 6.5 or the PJ stuff? I think PJ. Let's take guesses on PJ's PRA. I would be if this PRA finishes at 24.5, people are losing their minds taking PJ in the 4th round. Justin would take him over Hart, Norm Powell, and Ayton. I would put PJ down for like 38 fantasy points. So yeah, that would be over those guys too. Is Clay draftable? Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to be drafting him, but he is draftable. Let's check one more time on Underdog. I would bet that we're going to see a 30.5 PRA for PJ Washington. About to use up one of my refreshes for you guys. Didn't want to do this. Oh, damn it, dude. Not enough PJ. Not enough. At least it's all. Well, how much of that is fees? 6 shares. Six shares out of 37 drafts for PJ right now. Let's check one more time. Don't want to keep you guys waiting forever. I mean, this redacted line moved in the wrong direction. Does PJ even get that huge of a usage bump without Luka and Kyrie? Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's just like, will the efficiency be there? And will the game be close enough that it matters? I feel like now if you're taking some bonus spots, you want to reach for PJ in the 4th, 5th. That I can get behind. All right. Let's see what ETR says. I really prefer just using like pick'ems to kind of see what the assessment is, because it's just the where I put my trust. PJ projects for 31.5 per Leone and the guys. Dinwiddie, I see 27.3. PJ only 19% usage without Luka and Kyrie. 35-1 for you guys. Justin saying, feels like one of these Mavs pieces will be on the winner tonight. Yeah, mine isn't updated. Yeah, but it's like, who I think it will be is I would definitely put my money on Gafford if Lively doesn't play. If with Kyrie out, would they just like play? Would they just sit Lively? This PJ keeps going back and forth, man. If you are in a state where you can hit this, maybe hit the O, because I think we are all kind of anticipating, based on this number here and based on what you guys are telling me your fantasy point outputs are, I would say like 28.5 is the good PRA for PJ. Because I agree with Magikarp. I think we've seen this before. Everything sucks and it's a blowout. One last check over here. One last check. Nice. Okay. Sabonis, Fox. This Sabonis rebounds line projection, rather, got a little better. Anything for the... damn it. Nothing for... Fuck. Nothing for the Mavs yet. Let's see if these fantasy points changed at all. Poole at 32 fantasy points, by the way, indicates that he's a little overdrafted, considering he's questionable. Giddey 32 at ADP 21. No, thank you. Like you have Giddey or McCollum. McCollum not drafted every time. Giddey drafted every time. Just saying. Norm Powell. But the difference is we like Norm Powell. That's the difference. The difference is Norm Powell is good. Like this is what you got to do. Let's go Garland too. I like the Garland hire. Simons at 30. Never drafted. Good pick. Ooh, the Paul George. That went up, right? That was not always at 34. Sexton at 28. Yeah, he's tough to get to. Let's go Jokic higher. Do you guys like anybody for a triple-double tonight? I need to add a slider to this. Josh Hart triple-double? No one suggested that. Is it up? Do we have it? Yes, we do. That'll do. Crossface, yo. One little pick 'em before we head out of here and check one more time if the Mavericks have anything up on Underdog. Norm Powell, higher fantasy points. Darius Garland, higher fantasy points. Jokic, higher fantasy points. And Josh Hart to tie it all together with a triple-double. You guys, we're going to be telling our kids about that one. I just saw this. I do remember Hardy Day. I was waiting for Hardy Day all year. Okay, here we go, guys. 27.5 PRA for Clay. Dude, wow. 25.5 for PJ. 27.5 for Dinwiddie. Yeah. Let's take Dinwiddie off. Let's do this and then pair that with Powell. Yeah, that's they got those mixed up. That should be flip flopped. Cool. That's all I wanted to see. All right, guys. Good luck tonight. I got a ton of manual drafts to do and a ton of autos as well. Let's be real. Thanks for watching. I appreciate everybody showing out and hanging out. Tomorrow, just me again. I haven't looked at the hoop slate. Hopefully it's fun. We're going to be right back here doing the same old shit. Same old stuff. So good luck. See you guys then. Peace.